Hello there, hi, welcome to today's Vinyasa flow class. So it's Water Week, so we're focusing all of this week's classes around the water theme or element. So today's class is going to be a classic Vinyasa flow class, but we're going to be focusing on our swimmer's arms. So rotating the arms like this, which will be throwing us completely off balance, so working into the strength of the legs and the core whilst we're swimming back and forth. So lots of lunging positions today, low lunge on the mat, so you may need a blanket for your knees, okay. We're going to begin seated, cross-legged position, closing off the eyes. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Just allow yourself to arrive on your mat for a few seconds, few breaths. Take a deep inhale through the nose, sweep the arms up into the air, and then exhale, bring them down to the ground in front of you. So you can bring the forearms down as well if your body is open enough to reach down that deeply. Take an inhale breath, find your halfway lift, gaze is forward. Exhale, fold. Try and come slightly deeper. And then walking the hands over to the left. Bring the right hand on top of the left hand and just deepen the stretch all the way down the right side body. Slow, deep inhales into the right lungs, the right rib cage. And lengthened exhales. Focusing on our breath, the next inhale breath, sweep your right arm up into the air. And then exhale, bringing it back down. Inhale, sweep the right arm up into the air. And then exhale, bring it back down. Walk the hands all the way over to the right. And bring the left hand on top of the right hand. Bringing the awareness back to the breath, those slow, deep inhales directed to the left lung, expanding into the left rib cage. Focusing on your Ujjayi breath, also known as ocean breath, interestingly, with our water theme. Known this because the noise that's made from the back of the throat makes a kind of ocean sound. Your next inhale breath, sweep the left arm up into the air. Exhale, bringing it back down. Inhale, sweep the left arm up into the air. Exhale, bringing it back down. Walk the hands back to center. And then making your way over onto all fours. Taking a box position. So just making sure your shoulders are directly over the wrists, hips directly over the knees, coming through a few rounds of cat-cow. Take an inhale breath, lift the head, lift the sit bones, drop the belly. Exhale, lower the head, lower the sit bones, pushing up strong through the back. Inhale, lift the head, lift the sit bones, drop the belly. Exhale, lower the head, lower the sit bones, arching through the back. Flowing for a few more rounds at your own natural rate of breath. Just mobilizing through the spine. And then finding your stillness here. So floating your left foot out behind you, just placing the toes of the left foot out to the bottom of the mat. We're going to take an inhale breath and sweep the right arm out in front of us. Take it all the way up into the air, and then exhale as you draw the circle round and back down. So engaging our swimmer's arms. Inhale, reaching the arm forward. Take it all the way up into the air, and then exhale, circling all the way back down. Final time, really drawing to our water theme, the swimmer's arms, and then exhaling, bringing it back down onto the mat. Draw the left knee in, switching sides. So placing the right foot out to the bottom of the mat, the right toes come down for stability. Take an inhale breath, sweep the left arm forward, draw it all the way up into the air, and then exhale as we draw that circle round and back down. Inhale, take the arm forward, draw it all the way up into the air, and then exhale, draw that circle round and back down. Final time, engage your swimmer's arm and our water theme, and then exhale, draw the circle round and back down. Take the toes together, the knees wide apart, and sink back, taking a child's pose. Bring the forehead down. Bringing the hands up to tripod position, so fingertips just to stretch out through the shoulders, the collarbones, and all the way into the armpits. This is one of my favourite stretches, a really gorgeous shoulder stretch. Then pushing up onto all fours, taking the box position once again. Curling under the toes, take the sit bones to the back of the room and coming into our downward dog. So first downward dog of the practice, you can begin paddling out through the heels if you want to do. Just stretching out through the hamstrings and calves. And then finding your stillness, encourage the heels down to the mat, tailbone turns up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale, come up high in the toes, push the chest back towards the thighs. Exhale, lower the heels back down. Take another deep inhale breath, come up high on the toes, push the chest back towards the thighs. And then exhale, lower the heels back down. So a little tricky challenge here for you. We're going to go into not a three-legged dog, a three-armed dog, if that makes sense. So we're going to ground down through our left hand and try to float the right arm all the way up into the air. Take it round and float it back down. Place it on the mat. Switching sides, so grounding down through the right hand. Take the left arm forward. Draw that circle, taking it all the way up into the air, round, and taking it back down onto the mat. Push back into your downward dog. Taking the gaze to the top of the mat, your next inhale breath. I'd like you to step or walk in as many steps as you need, your feet, to meet your hands. Find your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way up to the ceiling. And then exhale, hands to heart center. So what we're going to do here is we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up to the ceiling. And then we're going to take some circular rotations here. But we're going to challenge a little bit our mental capacity by taking left arm forward, right arm behind. I'm trying to do alternate circle rotations with the arms. So not only a nice little physical practice warm up here, but a little mental challenge too. Stop where you are and then switch sides. Woo! Really gets the mind thinking a little bit about this. And then stopping at the top, bring the hands down to heart center. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, swan dive to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, gazes forward. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back to high plank. Drop down the knees, uncurl the toes, and lower all the way down. Inhale, pushing up into cobra. Exhale, push back, take your downward dog. So still early in the practice here. If you feel like you still want to paddle out through the heels, you are more than welcome to. If you want to take a child's pose at this time, draw the toes together, drop the knees nice and wide apart, and bring the forehead down, taking a resting child's pose, or just take your downward dog in stillness. Finding that extra length through the back of the legs, drawing the belly button back to the spine. Take the gaze to the top of the mat, joining us all, if you're in the child's pose, to downward dog. Your next inhale breath, step, walk or jump your feet to meet your hands. Find your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way up to the ceiling. Pause there. We're going to take 2 circular rotations, left arm back, right arm behind, and then switch side. Right arm forward, left arm behind. I had to think about that one then. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, swan dive to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, gazes forward. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step, or option to jump back to high plank. Come lower to the ground, either knees first, followed by chest then chin, or take a chaturanga if you have that in your practice. Inhale, push up into cobra or upward dog. Exhale, push back, take your downward dog. Option here to drop down into child's pose if you want to do so. Toes together, the knees nice and wide apart, and take a resting child's pose. If you're in downward dog, finding length through the back of the legs, broadening through the collarbones, drawing the belly button back to the spine. Those in child's pose, joining us now in downward dog. Take the gaze to the top of the mat. Your next inhale breath, step, walk or jump your feet to meet your hands. Find your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart center. Surinamaskara B, so our sun salutation B. Taking the toes and ankles together now. We're going to inhale, hinge at the hips, trace the fingertips along the mat and sweeping up into Utkatasana, our chair pose. Exhale, swan dive to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, gazes forward. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step or jump back to high plank. Make your way through your vinyasa, so lowering to the floor, either knees first, followed by chest then chin, or taking chaturanga. Inhaling, pushing up into cobra or upward dog, and exhaling, pushing back, take your downward dog. Take the gaze to the top of the mat, step the right foot through between the hands. Feel free to pick your foot up and drag it into place, that's absolutely fine. Drop down the back knee, uncurl the toes, and sweep the arms up into a lunge. So low lunge, high arm position. So we're not sinking into the hip and groin area like we usually do in our runner's lunge. We're pulling up tall through the core, so reaching the crown of the head high. This is where you might need your blanket for your knees. So we're going to take the left arm forward, right arm behind, followed by the gaze. And then we're going to take the right hand down to the back of the left leg. Coming through our swimming rotation, we're going to pulsate back and forth with this. I'll take the first one slowly. So we're going to roll the arms, right hand comes down to the inside of the right foot, left arm reaches forward. Then inhale, roll them back so that the right hand can come to the back of the left leg. Roll them forward, right hand down, left hand reaches forward, and then swimmer's arms back. The right hand comes down to the back of the left leg. One more time. Right hand down, left hand reaches forward, and then taking that swimming motion back. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Curl under the back toe, lift the back knee, and step your right foot back to meet the left foot for downward dog. Take the gaze to the top of the mat. Step the left foot through between the hands. Feel free to pick it up and pop it there. Drag it into place. Drop down the back knee, uncurl the toes, and sweep the arms up into that lunged position. So right arm comes forward, left arm behind, followed by the gaze. And then we're going to bring the left arm down to the back of the right leg. So your right arm extends up into the air. So it really does work on your balance and your core, this. So we're going to take those swimmer's arms once again. So inhaling, rotating forward. We're going to bring the left hand down, Right arm reaches to the front of the room. And then swim them back. So your left hand comes to the back of the right leg. Right arm reaches upwards. Swimmer's arms forward. Left hand down, right arm reaches forward. Swimmer's arms back. Left hand down, right arm reaches up. Swimmer's arms back, left hand down, right arm reaches forwards. And then swimmer's arms back, reversing our lunge. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Step the left foot back to meet the right foot and take your downward dog. Taking the gaze to the top of the mat. Your next inhale breath, step, walk or jump your feet to meet your hands. Find your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hinge at the hips, trace the fingertips along the mat. Utkatasana. Exhale, swan dive to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, gazes forward. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step or option to jump back, come through your vinyasa. Inhaling, pushing up into cobra or upward dog, and exhaling, pushing back to downward dog. Take the gaze to the top of the mat, step the right foot through between the hands, drop down the back knee, uncurl the toes, sweep up into that lunged position. So we're going to do exactly the same. Left arm forward, right arm behind, followed by the gaze, and then take the right hand down to that back leg. So rolling with the arms forward. Right hand down, left hand forward. Sweeping it back, swimmer's arms. Rolling forward, right hand down, left hand forward, and then sweeping it back, right hand down, left hand reaches. Swimmers forward, and then swimmers back. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat, curl under the back toe, lift the back knee, step the right foot back for downward dog. Taking the gaze to the top of the mat, step the left foot through between the hands, drop down the back knee, uncurl the toes, sweep the arms up and take your low lunge. Right arm forward this time, left arm behind, followed by the gaze. Taking the left hand down to the back of the right leg, and we'll go through those rotations or those swimmer's arms once again. So swimming forward, left hand down, right arm reaches forward. Swim it back, left hand down, right arm reaches up. Swim it forward. Left arm down, right arm forward. Swim it back, left arm down, right arm reaches up. Swim it forward, left arm down, right arm reaches forward. And swim it back, left arm down, right arm reaches back. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Curl under the back toes, lift the back knee, step the left foot back to meet the right foot for downward dog. Taking the gaze to the top of the mat. Your next inhale breath, step, walk or jump your feet to meet your hands. Find your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hinge at the hips, trace the fingertips along the mat, come into Utkatasana. And then exhale, swan dive to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, gazes forward. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step or option to jump back to high plank. Make your way through your vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or taking chaturanga. Pushing back into downward dog. Taking the gaze to the top of the mat. Step the right foot through between the hands. Little challenge here, we're going to come into a high lunge, so sweep the hands up into the air. Keep the back knee off the mat. Obviously, if you would rather modify and drop the back knee down, that is absolutely fine to do so. So, this is where you might need a brick or a block. Place it on the inside of your right foot in advance. So we're going to bring the left arm forward, right arm behind, and then the right arm comes down to the back of your left leg. So right arm down, right hand down. So we're going to swim our arms forward, right hand down, left arm reaches forward. Swim it back, right hand down, left hand reaches up. Swim it forward, right hand down, left arm reaches forward. Swim it back, right arm down, left arm reaches back. Swim it forward, right hand down, left hand reaches forward. And then swimming it back, right arm down, left arm sweeps up. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Step your right foot back to meet the left foot, taking your downward dog. Take the gaze to the top of the mat. Step the left foot through between the hands. Inhale with power, sweeping up, take your high lunge. So as I said, you've still got the option to drop the back knee down if you want to modify. Bring the right arm forward, left hand behind, followed by the gaze. And then we're going to bring the left hand down to the back of the left leg. Right arm reaches up. So this is where, I should have done this before, where you want to put the brick down if you are using a brick or block. It might be that your brick goes down in place now, so the inside of the left foot. So we're going to swim it forward. Sweep those arms, left hand down, right arm reaches forward. Swim it back. Take the left arm to the back of that right leg, right arm reaches up. Swim it forward. Left hand down, right arm reaches forward. Swim it back. Left hand down, right arm reaches up. Swim it forward, left hand down, right arm reaches forward, and left arm back. Swimming it back, right arm reaches up. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Step the left foot back to meet the right foot. Take the toes together, drop the knees nice and wide apart, bring the forehead down, and come into a child's pose, a nice nourishing child's pose. If you want to do here, you can take the arms behind you and just come into a more neutral, relaxing child's pose. Catch your breath. Take those slow, deep inhales and lengthened exhales. Pushing your way up to a kneeling position here. We're going to spin around onto our bottoms. So we're going to take the legs out in front of us, taking a bend to the right leg. Cross the right leg over to the far side of the left one. Your right hand comes down. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Take a bend to the left elbow and take it to the far side of the right knee. So pull the right knee over to the left. So can you see I'm pulling the knee over and I'm going to take the twist behind so my gaze comes behind me. Slow, deep inhales. With every lengthened exhale, just trying to twist that little bit deeper. And coming back through to centre. Switching sides, so the right arm extends, left leg bends. Cross the left foot to the far side of the right leg. Bring your left hand down, inhale, sweep the right arm up, and then exhale, right elbow to the far side of the left knee. So we're pulling the knee over to the right, and we're going to take the twist behind. With every inhale breath, just reaching a little bit taller, and with every exhale, trying to twist that little bit deeper. Coming back through to center, spinning your way around and coming into Navasana, boat pose. Wouldn't be Water Week without a quick boat pose, would it? So holding in your boat pose, I'd like you to stretch tall through the spine, drawing the crown of the head upwards. You can modify by bringing your heels down to the mat, but if you're happy to come into the classic Navasana, holding for a few breaths. Sweep the right arm out to the side. Bring it back in. Sweep the left arm out to the side, bringing it back in. Sweep both the arms out to the sides, bring it back in. And then slowly, as slow as you can, lowering all the way down to the mat. Whew. Coming down onto your back. Taking a bend to the knees, the soles of the feet lay flat on the mat, and just window wipe the knees from left to right. Give the knees a little hug into the chest, massage out the lower back by rocking from left to right. And then we're going to come into our lovely Shavasana. So extending the legs along the mat, allow the feet and ankles to rock to the outside edges of the mat. Palms of the hands facing upwards. Allow a little bit of space between the arms and the body so that the shoulder blades can travel down the back. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Sink into stillness. Taking a bend to the knees, rolling onto your side momentarily into the fetal position, and then pushing your way up to seated, cross-legged position, facing the front of the room, eyes are closed, sitting tall through the spine. Relax the forehead, relax the eyes. Relax the jaw by allowing the teeth to part slightly. Taking the hands to prayer position, fluttering open the eyes, bowing the head. Namaste. Thank you so much for swimming with me today. I hope you enjoyed that practice, and I'll see you next time. Leave me some feedback, let me know how you're getting on. Love you lots. See you tomorrow.